So, in this lesson, let us discuss the three major events which happened just after Gandhiji arrived in India. So, everybody should know that Mahatma Gandhi he went to London for his studies, and he did not start his career with India as such because he went to South Africa. And when he arrived in India, the date is called as 9th January 1915, and that is celebrated till now as Pravasi Bharatiya Divas for NRIs. So what he did was that for 1 year he traveled the entire India on advice of his guru, and then he did Champaran Satyagraha, Ahmedabad Mill Strike, and Kheda Satyagraha. So today we will discuss all three of them. So let us start with the entry of Gandhiji. So as I was speaking, that he entered in India on 9th January 1915. It's called as the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. Then you had the Home Rule Movement in 1916. Then you had Champaran Satyagraha, Ahmedabad Mill Strike, and Kheda Satyagraha. So a lot of issues were there. He embarked on a journey. He needed to understand India, its problems, how he can solve them. And he lived with villagers because he had like great affinity with farmers. And in next 2 years, he did these three in this order. So sometimes they ask this order also. So CAKE, cake, I remember it like cake, Champaran, Ahmedabad Mill Strike, and cake is for Kheda Satyagraha. Now let us see Champaran Satyagraha 1917. What actually happened here? So basically Champaran, and it is just one area, it is just not limited to Champaran, but there were other areas in Bihar also. So they were forced to cultivate like indigo, and it's under the Teen Katia system. They were 3 out of 20 parts of their land. They have to, I'm saying they had to, like compulsorily forced by landlords to grow indigo. Now this was like very much troubling because the price for this was too less, like it was almost virtually throwing away, and it was fixed on the cultivated area where it was nothing to do with crop produced, and obviously they were being cheated in this, and so planters had agreed to relieve the peasants but demanded very heavy rents, which obviously like poor peasants were not able to pay, and they were living under extreme stress, extreme duress, and their life was living hell because of the Teen Katia system where they were forced to cultivate indigo. Teen Katia means 3 by 20. Okay, so peasant leader in that case Rajkumar Shukla, he traveled in India, he found Mahatma Gandhi, he requested him to visit Champaran, and that's how Mahatma Gandhi came to know about the situation. He was apprised about the situation. Now let us see who were the major leaders. So Gandhiji, on request of Rajkumar Shukla, came to Champaran, but Britishers ordered them to leave the district immediately. But you know Gandhiji, he refused and he persisted, and he decided to do satyagraha. And the major people who appeared were Rajendra Prasad, everybody knows him, okay, President of India, independent India. Then you had JB Kripalani, then you had Brij Kishore, Mahadev Desai, Narhari Parekh. All of these are big names. And Gandhiji himself, he was a lawyer, so he investigated the issue. He read the documents and he arrived at the exact cause as to what is going on. Then finally, like a commission of inquiry was formed to look into the matter because Gandhiji was very persistent, and Gandhiji presented all his findings in this commission. And obviously, like based on the facts, the commission decided in favor of peasants, and all the peasants were compensated for their losses, and the Gandhiji, he emerged as a hero. So that is like the Katia system for you, and this was the entire Champaran Satyagraha, and this was abolished gradually, and all the peasants jitna bhi unka loss hua tha, they were paid accordingly for that. Now let us talk about the Ahmedabad Mill Strike, which happened in 1918. So cake, first is Champaran, then A se Ahmedabad, K se Khed. Okay, so under the Britisher, what was happening was like cotton industry grew manifold in Ahmedabad, and it became one of the modern industrial town 20th century. But in March 1918, there was a lot of issues which was going on between the owner of the Gujarat mills and workers. Obviously, issue will be between owners and workers. They wanted wage hike of 50%, but owners wants to cut the wage hike as minimum as possible. But they were just want to give like 20% wage hike. So obviously, like Mahatma Gandhi, he arrived there. So because this is very famous incident, and it's called as Ahmedabad Mill Strike. Okay, so there was a lot of pressure on the mill owners because of this, and Gandhiji said that that under the leadership there was a strike, and he embarked on fast unto death for this. That is, it is called as hunger strike, and there was a lot of pressure on the mill owners, and a tribunal was formed which decided eventually in favor of the workers. So the result was that the strike was successful, and workers, like the 20% which was agreed by the owner, rather than that they got a 35% wage increase. So again, as you can see, that Gandhiji, when he comes into picture, he do something good for the common people, and he is not gaining out of it anything, by the way. So he's just like being himself, and he's helping the masses. Then you have Kheda Satyagraha. So as you can see, Gandhiji is evolving and taking bigger and bigger issues, and if you observe closely, he himself is not promoting himself, but there are other leaders also which emerges. So in the Ahmedabad Mill Strike, the mill owners' relatives, they joined Mahatma Gandhi in the fast. So he was so strong at his principles that even others were swayed and they had to join him. So that was a personality which he carried. So now let us talk about the one of the famous threes, Kheda Satyagraha. So again, the cities are important. So Champaran is in Bihar, Ahmedabad is obviously in Gujarat, Kheda is also in Gujarat. Gujarat because Gandhiji is from Gujarat. So in Kheda, like the peasants were suffering from poverty, famines, and like they were dying out of starvation. There was massive crop failure in Kheda. So because of that, despite that, Bombay presidency, because like Gujarat was part of Bombay presidency, so they increased the taxes by 23% in 1917 and 1918. Obviously, like just imagine Lagan movie. So it was typical scene like that, and peasants were unable to pay. So farmers pleaded to remit the taxes by, we will not be able to pay, we don't have money at all. So this revolt happened against these increased taxes, and government said that obviously the Britishers, they don't care, and they said that if the taxes are not paid, the property will be seized completely. So this revolt, it was organized by Gujarat Sabha, and Gandhi what became his spiritual leaders. So Gandhiji, what he did was, he asked the peasants to withhold tax payments, and he along with Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So here Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel emerges in the scene, and the colleagues like Narhari Parikh, as I was already saying about, Mohanlal Pandya, Ravi Shankar Vyas. So they organized this massive tax revolt. So this was done to counter the British government, and all the caste, creeds, religion, they participated in it without discrimination. And Gandhiji said, don't pay the taxes. So it was a kind of a civil disobedience, so to speak. And this movement became very successful. And because of this, again, because of Mahatma Gandhi's effort, the tax for the current year as well as the next year, it was suspended. So these were the three major satyagrahas. People usually get confused in prelims. So thank you for watching this lesson. Have an awesome day.